PowerPoint on communicating with spirit guides, but bro, when Ryan Clapper made this post, bro, I'm like, okay, bet. Because it's like I felt that so hard, and I felt like the main problem that people are probably gonna have is not knowing when a spirit guy's talking to them. So here's how you actually know. So in the simplest way I could put it inside of a like short form video, right? Spirits are just intelligences that could act. I made a video about what spirits are according to Egyptian mythology. Go watch that video if you want to understand more about spirits. Overall, though, right? They're just intelligences that can act. When you receive a thought, that's an intelligence acting through you. You know how you'd be like, that was a crazy thought. The thought wouldn't be crazy if you always thought like that. So therefore, it's coming from a different intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, right? When you receive a thought that feels like the right thing to do, right? But then you don't do it, and then you're like, dang, I should have done that. The reason why you didn't do it is because you don't always identify with those kinds of thoughts. You don't always identify with that intelligence. You know what I'm saying? So the intelligence seems a bit more separate to you. So it seems like a separate spirit. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a separate intelligence that was trying to guide you, then it's a separate spirit that's trying to guide you. Now, whether it's separate or not, we could talk more about that in the communicating with spirit guides thing. But overall, right, when it comes to listening to your spirit guides, you pretty much need to just understand that you know when something's trying to guide you. Like even if you think that it's just your own thoughts, you know when you tell yourself the right thing to do, right? Start listening. like even though you may not always want to do it, it always feels like the right thing. That's a spirit guide. That's your spirit guide, literally. You don't gotta know what it looked like. You don't gotta know none of that for right now. You're gonna find out if you start listening. The reason why is because if you start always doing the right thing, right? Because if it's guiding you to do the right thing, then there's because here's another thing real quick. The reason why another reason why you don't do it, right, is because even though a part of you said, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, you don't fully understand why you shouldn't do that until the consequences affect you. But this separate intelligence that told you not to do that, it knows why you shouldn't do that. But you don't identify with that knowledge. That's why it's a separate intelligence. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to say that real quick. Like these parts that say don't do this or do this, like you know how sometimes you want to take action and you know you should take action, but you may just be scared or you may just be doubtful or something like that, but it really does feel like the right thing to do, bro. Stuff like that. And the reason why you can't fully trust it all the time is because you don't fully know what this thing knows. But if you start trusting it, right, you're gonna start knowing what it knows more. And you could even meet it in your dreams. Cause really just think about this real quick, right? If you if most people never ever follow that voice, right, then they're probably living out of sync with how things could be for their highest, life, I guess. So with all that being said, right, if you were to always listen to those good parts of yourself, then you would probably start, having a better life, which would probably maybe involve like better sleep or something like that. You know what I'm saying? If you're getting better sleep, you may have better dreams, which may make you see, you know, what's talking to you inside the dreams. And even if you don't, and let's say you become a person who doesn't really sleep like that. You know what I'm saying? You may get the urge to start meditating more at certain times, and because your body's in a certain state, and your mind's in a certain state, you have more access to see what's talking to you, type stuff. You just get guided naturally, and you're going to see these things when you're ready, pretty much. But if you never really follow those things, you're never gonna have the chance to even get close to that because you're never doing the right thing for yourself. So whether you want to think of it as a separate intelligence or not, that's what your spirit guide is. Every time when you be knowing what to really do, but you just don't listen, that's the spirit guide. And you can say it's a spirit guide because the part of you that knows that you shouldn't do it really does know that you shouldn't do it, but you don't identify with that because you don't always have that full knowledge as the character that you really are right now. You know what I'm saying? But once you expand beyond that, you kind of can start, becoming one with the gods and stuff like that. Now look, here's the thing though. You do have, because you have higher parts of yourself, right, that communicate through you and try to talk to you all the time, right? And then you have things that are gonna be more separate from this. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say like a freaking alien came down, or let's say just like a random angel came down, right? That would be less identified with you, right? But you do realize that if you expanded beyond just this, that technically would also be you. Like you could get to like the higher states, so you could actually swap consciousnesses with beings. Now, have I done that? I can't really say that I have, but I know Ryan Carper talked about that before, and it's like the reason why you could do that is because you're all the same awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like beyond this, you're literally everything. You know, like I'm you, you're me. Like we're the same. It's just that because we observe, like we're the same awareness, right? But we observed different things. You didn't observe everything that I observed. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, you have different memories than me, and therefore you have different knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And that causes you to express yourself differently and think differently than I would. But if we were to observe the same things, right? And I mean, and there's because if we were to observe like all the same things, right, then we could actually be the same. But you may think that's not true because if me and you watch the same movie, we could think differently about it. But that's because, like for example, you observe like I'd have to observe your whole entire life inside this lifetime. You know what I'm saying? I'd have to have your exact genes because your genes also affect how you think and stuff like that. I'd have to observe all your past lives. Like that's what I'm saying. But if there's one minor thing that I'm not observing that you observe, there's going to be a slight difference in our knowing and how we express ourselves and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you start to swap consciousnesses with beings and stuff like that, and then get the memories and see their perspective and stuff like that, you kind of can unify. And you know what I'm saying? So with all that being said, you communicate with your guides by just listening to those parts of yourself that know what you should do. You know, just start listening. That's why, and that's how I learned, bro. Like I remember when Ryan was talking about how one of my guys said I could just easily summon it and communicate with it and stuff like that, and I'm like, how am I gonna know if I'm really doing it? And he was just like, yo, no, and I'm like, shoot, okay, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I be knowing. And it's like when you listen to it more, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. And there's actually a book I read called Nurture Your Spirits and stuff like that. Bro, if you're always if you're always listening to the right thing inside of you and stuff like that, right? Cause you gotta see it, cause you gotta see it as a separate and the same kind of thing. Also, well, that's how I see it. I see it as a separate and the same kind of thing, because like when you identify with these intelligences more, right? You're acting them out more and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you're starting to know what they know more and stuff like that. On top of that, like if you're being guided to save your energy, that energy is helping you to sustain that part of you that thinks like that and stuff like that. So it's like you're in like inside the book. I'm about to read that book again, bro, because now I just realized that I forgot a lot about it. Like I remember a lot of stuff from that book, but I can't remember the full gist about it. But it's like, dang. No, well, actually, no, the gist was he was talking about how we do have different spirits and stuff like that, physical, mental, and spirits, which I'm gonna talk about inside the full PowerPoint and stuff like that. God dang, it's so much. It's so much, bro. It's so much, bro. Long story short, you be knowing the right thing to do. You be trying to guide yourself with the right thing to do. Just start listening to that more. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. Like whether you gotta like the best way, sit down, meditate for a little bit, calm down and stuff like that, and then listen to the right thing and do. Cause you know when you're making up some BS and stuff like that, it's gonna reflect inside your life when your life goes bad. It's not like your spirit guides make your life go bad. It's just that if you're being told the right thing, but you don't do the right thing, then you're clearly doing the wrong thing. If you're doing the wrong thing, bad things are gonna happen, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So just do the right thing, bro. You be getting you be and by right, you know I don't mean societally right. I just mean like you be knowing the right thing to really do inside you. You know what I'm saying? You know you be tripping and stuff like that. So it's like just listen to those impulses. It gets more energetic and stuff like that. You got to be more feeling based sometimes due to the fact that, like I said, you don't always identify with those intelligences that know. So it's like when you learn how to just become more receptive to that and just listen more, you kind of understand it more. But it's like you already kind of get it for real. That's why I feel like Ryan just made the post like that, because it's like, bro, you be knowing. Because I remember in one of his story times, right? He was talking about how he met these cause and effect, how he met these cause and effect beings. But the thing is, right? When he was first interacting with them, he didn't even know. He just thought it was a part of him type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like he just thought like it was just all him. You know what I'm saying? Which in a way it is, but it's not all him in the sense of like Ryan per se. You know, it's like from like the higher. You know, but like, yeah, I think Ryan would agree with that. I'm gonna get up with Ryan, bro. I'm gonna get up with Ryan soon. You know what I'm saying? Gotta talk to my boy. But yeah, I think that's it for this video. Listen to yourself.